ರಕ್ಷಣೆ, ಅದು ಈ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ ಸಂದರ್ಭವನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಚರ್ಚಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಂತರದ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿದಾಗ, ಅವಲೋಕಿಸಿದಾಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ತುಂಬ ಆತಂಕಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಭಯಾನಕವಾಗಿವೆ. ಅಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರಿಂದ, ಗಣ್ಯರಿಂದ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಮುಂದೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಯೋ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಮುಂದಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಈ ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಹೊರಹೊಮ್ಮುವ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಿಧ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಲಹೆ ನೀಡುವ ಅವಕಾಶವೂ ಇದೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಸಲಹೆ ನೀಡುವ ಅವಕಾಶವೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣದಿಂದ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಈ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಾಭಗಳು ತಮಗೆ ದೊರಕಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
Thank you so much, sir. We truly appreciate your valuable insights. To mark the formal inauguration, I request Honorable Mr. Justice Ashok G. Nijagannanavar, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka and member of Law Commission of Karnataka, to kindly light the lamp. I also request other dignitaries on stage to kindly join him. I now request Honorable Justice Mr. Ashok Nijagannanavar to kindly address the gathering.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Honorable President of this function, Soundarya Manjappa, just now I met him in his chamber, and other dignitaries on the dais, Professor Dr. C.S. Patil, Mr. Kirtan Kumar's brother, Sri Varun Kumar, towering personality, Rivaya Vadiyar, Principal Madam Rajeshri, Mr. Putswamy, honorable members of the teaching faculty, and all resource persons have come. We're really glad to meet them and hear their lectures on this mind-boggling topic, rather. And in addition to that, I'm so happy to meet you, see all students with the radiant faces. It's really a great opportunity. I'm rather delighted to be here to inaugurate this conference. I'm reminded of a conference, a national conference held at Hyderabad around 15 years back. It was also for protection of children, but the topic, what problems they faced. It was mainly regarding the child trafficking, child abuse, prostitution, and so many other problems that faced by the children. Now, how the legal system gets modified or changed according to the changing needs of the society or the circumstances. In addition to all those problems what we had in the past, if we go back to the history around 50, 60 years back, the question that arose was, what is a right of a child or a hungry child to be fed? What was a right of a child or a sick child to get a health care? What was a right of a child against a discrimination or for the good environment? They were not all that blessed, like you all are studying in a best college at the prestigious institutions. Your parents are taking care of lot of care of for you, and majority of the children who were from the rural background, they were struggling for a square meal a day. And all the question that arose was the malnutrition. The High Court of Karnataka had to take notice of a news clipping that appeared in the TV channel that most of the children in some parts of Raichur, Gulbarga district were suffering from malnutrition, and it was certainly a pathetic situation. Having noted all those problems of children, the Honorable High Court was pleased to pass an order to the government, directing the government to form a committee to look into all these matters. Then gradually, after looking into the matters of the malnutrition, the question that arose was regarding the education. Not only the nourishment is required, but for the development of the child, education is the most important. If you don't provide the proper education, how a child could bloom? They have no idea as to what is to be, learned initially. Of course, the primary educations will all be compulsory and this thing. And once again, there are several problems faced by the government or some of the institutions. Luckily, some of the institutions like Soundarya Law College and Soundarya group of institutions and other institutions, they have been putting their best efforts to impart education relatively relevant to the present day status and the standards. We do not want any, in addition to the basic education, we need the best standards or the paramount consideration should be welfare of the child. Now, in addition to all those problems, we are combating all these things, but we are not fully succeeded in this, in our endeavor. I do not wish to speak on all because today the legal luminaries with a lot of legal knowledge, the resource persons have come. I must really compliment. I must be grateful for them for participating in this conference to give the best information to the students, because majority of you, the students must have used internet and mobile phones and other tablets, everything in your childhood times, I believe. How many of you have used mobile sets and internet and computers during school days? Don't be shy to raise your hands. all used, I mean, I'm not trying to find fault with you. This rapidly changing digital world has got both the benefits as well as the risk factors. I never say that, I mean, I do not wish to say that all children should be away from this digital world, or they should not use this, they should not be tech savvy, or they should not make use of mobiles, but you should know the limitation of that. ಹಿಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾದೆ ಮಾತಿತ್ತು, ಅಂದರೆ ದೋಸ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿರಲ್ಲವ ಮನೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಂತ. ಈಗ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದು, ಮನೆ ತುಂಬ ಇರಲ್ಲವ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಂತ. We are more particular about mobiles than our children now. The children have started, or wasting, not wasting rather, I don't know how to use that word, utilizing their time by using mobiles. And I'm very much worried about the things what I'm witnessing is, even in hotels, leave about the houses, each mother is more worried about showing her mobile phone to feed that child. If this practice continues, probably we'll end up nowhere. I'm the last person to advise that, the children should not be educated in the about the digital world. That doesn't mean that right from at the age of 1 or 2, you start showing the mobile only to feed the child. You are making that child addict. What that innocent child can expect from their parents? Even we are responsible for all these wrong things that's happening in the society. But we must always highlight what are the benefits that I want to get from this digital world. At present, you are really blessed. With that click of a button, you get all information that is available in the world. But only thing, you should not misuse it for some other purpose. And your knowledge, once Einstein said, education is not acquiring the information. You should cultivate such an enthusiasm you should have an inquisitive mind to study. In addition to those mobile, just because you find everything that your cut and paste business will not take you to greater heights. You shall have to struggle. You have a prestigious institutions, great, where you must have got a very good library. You make use of that. Your brain is a wonderful computer, it can grasp any system or any legal knowledge within no time, provided you have the zeal to cultivate the habit to inculcate the ideas of what is provided there. Now, the digital, as said, that is a rapidly changing world. Maybe you will learn, every child may learn for academic purpose, or for playing games, or for giving any other information. But only criteria is that how best you can make use of that. Again, coming back to those areas that, we all know that 10 fundamental rights have got, the children have got the 10 fundamental rights. The first one is the question of survival. Those days, question of survival was the main priority even for the most of the nations, even including our country. They have struggled a lot to do their best for the welfare of the child, of the children, or to protect the children's rights, and to educate them to giving a right for the participation, a protection from the discrimination, right to identity, right to expression. So many fundamentals. You are all today fortunate. You are going to hear the resource persons of the how best you can take care of the children's rights, how we can protect from the digital world. Digital world is very fascinating one. It attracts you so fast. Within no time, it can grab you, all your attention. Thereby, you may have to discard so many good things in your life. That's why, my dear friends, today, this conference, I could wish I could speak some more time, but this is not the, when all resource persons are present here who are eager to share their ideas with you. I'm very much certain that they will impart the best of the legal information that is available for you all, which is for your good. I wish that this conference is successful and you all make use of this conference for your benefit. Wish you all very best. Thank you one and all.
Thank you for your enlightening message, sir. Your words have given us much to reflect on. We are privileged to have with us Professor Dr. C.S. Patil, Director of Kilpar. I would now like to invite him to deliver the keynote address.
Good morning. The master of the ceremony, gracious lady, saw that I have some notes, that's why she asked me to deliver keynote. Thank you very much. No keynote address, just some observations. Honorable Justice Shri Ashok Nijganawar, former Judge, High Court of Karnataka and member, State Law Commission, the Management Trustee, Shri Kirtan Kumar, Shri Varun Kumar, my colleague Revaya Vadier, and the gracious Principal Dr. Rajeshri, and Vishwas Puttaswamy, Dr. Vishwas Puttaswamy. I run into problem wherever I go. And Madam, while introducing, she said he is a voracious reader, and maybe she has talked about it, and Dr. Puttaswamy has given me a book to read. Okay. I find myself in a very pleasant environment. It is always nice to be with the youngsters. And from youngsters we have gone to children. The theme that Kilpar in association with Soundarya Law College has chosen is protection of children in digital world. I am 63, probably Nijganawar sir is 66. And when the question was asked by the Honorable Judge, how many of you used internet in your school days? We have no hands to raise because internet was not there when we were in school. Okay, internet came very late in our lives. How many of you have seen a floppy? Okay, some of you have seen floppy. That used to be some KB capacity, and if you put one black and white photograph in that, floppy will be full. And we were carrying so many floppy boxes, and floppy holder was there. So we have seen that we saw the manual typewriter, we saw the electronic typewriter, then we saw the desktop computers, we had a pager tagged to our belt, and then mobile came. And for mobile, you will wonder, for incoming call, the charge was 4 rupees per minute for incoming. For outgoing, it was 8 rupees. And our friends have paid 25,000-30,000 rupees phone bill every month. And now 300-400 rupees have got unlimited calls. See, world is changing. As Honorable Judge said, world is changing beyond our control. One of the lady professors from other college has presented me a book, Regenerative Artificial Intelligence. She wants me to read that. Okay, everyone wants me to read. So from professor I have become a reader again. And it is so nice to acquaint ourselves with these things. There is a wonderful book, Byron Rees, The Fourth Age. What a fascinating book. See, we are racing, we are galloping because first we want to learn, and second we want to contribute in whatever manner possible. And sometimes we get perplexed, sometimes we wonder about the things that are happening around us. We belong to that category of people who went to a theater, stood in queue and bought tickets in the counter. And now even going to movie has become difficult because you have to have a software, you have to book your ticket online, etc., etc. You book a ticket, you add food to that. It is changing, and you are very well in this because you are growing with the technology, you are acquainted with this. But everything is not good with whatever that is happening, as it happens always. Are we coming to terms with where we are living is the question. Am I at home, in my own home? Am I at school, in my own school? Whether the teacher is at his school is also a question. Now online, you are also not there, I am also not there. School also is not there. And the question arises when we speak of children. You are all law students. Article 15.1, no discrimination on the basis of sex. 15.3, state can make special provision for women. Because discrimination on the basis of sex is prohibited, special provision for women is to be provided as an exception, but they have included child also. State can make special provision for the benefit of women and children. Why child is included when there is no prohibition on the basis of age in 15.1? How come child comes in this exception 15.3? That is only to make the commitment of the constitution makers manifest to the welfare of the child, that even though if it is superfluous, they added this word child in 15.3. If you look deeply into this provision, 15.3 of the Constitution. That is the commitment of the Constitution and the Constitution makers. And that is the commitment. Each child sitting here is a big project of their family. Your parents want you to grow, professionally excel, occupy high positions, live a quality life. Elderly people are like this. Other day, one of our most close legal luminary expired, and somebody wrote in the newspaper, Deccan Herald, he has left a legacy. And we read this, he has left a legacy. What is leaving a legacy? Leaving a legacy is how you nurture your youngsters. That is leaving the legacy. Whether it is a professor, whether it is a professional, whether it is a judge, whether it is somebody else. If you have to leave a legacy, how you have nurtured your youngsters. Next generation is leaving the legacy. All these platforms have come. Inventors have come, and we have created this digital world. What is the legacy that we are leaving behind? And how we are training our youngsters to live their life is the question. And when we choose a topic like this, we have to brood upon this. We have lived through that period of blue whale. Something like blue whale came and there was a sort of tattoo. Children started committed suicide. There is something in that wherein the child is made to answer this. They will threaten that your parent is at risk, this fellow, we will kill him. and ultimately the child will commit suicide. So many children committed suicide because of their online activities. And we had this cyber kidnapping thing. So the child will be asked to isolate himself digitally, and parents will be threatened that we have taken your child, we have kidnapped, and give this ransom and other things. What is happening? I tell you, first thing which I downloaded in this life from the internet is the judgment in the case of Reno versus ACLU, American Civil Liberty Union, which is fighting case against immigration right now. That is a very celebrated organization in America, ACLU. Reno versus ACLU involved the challenge to constitutional validity of what was known as Communications Decency Act, CDA, Communications Decency Act 1996. So when 1996 this law was enacted, 1997 the major judgment came. I had to take the help of my friends in DRDO Bangalore and download this judgment of the Supreme Court in 1997. There used to be what is known as dot metric printer. Dot metric paper rolls will be there, dot dot dot, it will print. So I went on internet, probably many of you were not born. So I went on net and I did not get down from there. That is the problem. What happens here to a child? Sir told excellent example. So you want the baby to eat? Thrust a mobile in his hand, her hand, and with mobile the boy is very happy, and mummy is happy with another mobile. Who eats from which plate? What is fed? God only knows. Some of the examples, maybe you also have come across these things. In some Western world, there was a school bus going, and the driver suffered a massive heart attack. There were 40 children in that bus. When he suddenly suffered heart attack, one boy jumped to the driver's seat. He positioned himself, pushing aside the driver, applied brake and stopped that vehicle and saved the lives of all these children. His father was interviewed. How come in a bus of 40 children, your son could do this?
Our chief mentor at Soundarya and also director at Kilpa, Dr. C.S. Patil sir, and Dr. Revaya Odayer sir, Mr. Varun, Dr. Rajashree ma'am, dear Vishwas, faculty members, invitees, and dear cyber zombies. How are you all? Fine. So yes, we are all, we have to accept our average screen time for me last week was 4 hours a day. So I think that's the average, the country average is that. And today's child's attention span is only for about 6 minutes. So that's told by the UNICEF. And of course, in the digital world, we're in Bangalore. Bangalore is a great place, and our state in Bangalore is surviving because of technology. The business of technology is so huge, and it is complementing the economics of the state. And I was surprised. One area like Mahadevpura is generating about 1,200 crores as tax. That's amazing. I mean that's business of technology. Whereas we saw this side, it was just 164 crores. So that's the huge gap between where MSMEs are and the technological business are. So likewise, on today's conference, we are here for one-day conference on protection of children in digital world. And as we know that it is very important to protect our children from various aspects of digital interventions. So there are many issues in terms of privacy and data protection, and also exposure to harmful content and easily access violent or otherwise inappropriate content. It's normal for any child. So I remember when I was small, we saw this new movie coming called Dawn. So when you see a movie like Dawn, that influence of the movie, you come back and you're always, suspicious. At home we are cautious that that influence is probably for 2 days. So that's the child's, effect. So likewise, every child today has been exposed to, the content access is very, very easy. And cyberbullying is something that's predominantly that's going on everywhere. And for that we have the cyber sense stations that has been established in every, that has been taken very, very strongly by the Home Ministry, and things are getting very, very serious. Laws are getting very, very strong there. And there has been, we have a group of institutions and schools. We see a lot of students who are, post-COVID, we could see the kind of addictions, because the blue ray light that affects you, it affects sleep, and we could see that a lot of students are disinterested, and we see that their affirmations are online, and students' emotions are with the likes and dislikes. So like this, we keep seeing. So I think Australia is a country that has just passed the regulation on banning social media for below 16 years of age. So this is something very, very good that is happening in one part of the world. I'm sure India is not too far away, and we come with a huge population because technology somewhere has been detrimental to child psychology, and also in terms of their growth. And also we have commercial exploitation. Today we see a lot of ads, and we see a lot of influencers. And dear students, we keep seeing various products which today are being sold. So this is also because today dark web is something which is available to access, and students get somewhere that curiosity gets to them into getting into dark web, into a lot of other activities. So this what happens, they don't realize at that time, and then when they get into those kind of some kind of nexus, it is very difficult for them to come out. So likewise, we see the protection acts that are coming through AI. So AI intervention is happening at our institutions. Of course, we sensitize the students. Today's students have to be parents and students have been brought together. There is a psychological department, and there is a wonderful program designed by NIMANCH to control all this behavior, because students getting into the rooms are not coming out during because of the phone addiction and other things. So when the awareness is there, and parents' role plays a key influence in this aspect. So there are many advantages also. Cyber forensics today, I think all the students of legal community, you can, of course, going ahead, the crimes are going to increase in terms of the cyberspace, and there are a lot of digital forensics courses that are available, and I feel every student should come engage in this kind of course, so that your career progression will happen through digital forensics. And at the same time, all the students can also become a policy maker, because policy engagement in terms of digital protection for children is very, very important. So at Soundarya College of Law, we can have a forum to inaugurate and ensure that we have certain research data that can be produced. I'm sure Kilpar can help us with, because once we produce the data, the governments will definitely be able to accept certain policies, and they may pass. And again, Child Rights Commission, the chairman is supposed to join in some time. The Child Rights Commission is also working in various institutions, closely working with the teachers, and ensuring that, because teachers today have to be social media monitors also, because everybody knows is every student indirectly or directly somewhere he mocks trolling the teacher. So today the teachers have become very, very smart. They're keeping some digital check what way, because we keep seeing as an institution some good comments, some bad comments. So before I used to, when I started the career, I used to get agitated. But now I'm curious, why, how, and this way, this is a challenge for our, as an institution or the institution heads. We have to understand the mindset of the students, where they come from. So digital classrooms today have directly linked today. Without digitally equipped classroom or without internet we cannot function. So but the way we use is something very, very important. So I wish all the students very best. Please see the business aspect of it also. Today technology business, the small apps like Zomato, he doesn't cook, he doesn't deliver, he doesn't prepare, he doesn't get groceries. Today his valuations are in 25,000 crores. So likewise, the opportunity in terms of digital protection apps, and that may be your business problem statement, and you can come out with some kind of technology, a basic filtering process for your companies, or you can suggest for any institution. That is a business opportunity that I must tell you for now. So with that note, I would like to congratulate our team, Dr. Rajashri Madam and team, for having executed wonderful national conference, and because bringing everyone together is a great task, and this is a good beginning, and we are all here to support all of you. Now again, thank you Mr. Vishwas, and also all the organizing team for bringing everyone together, and a big thank you to CS Patil sir. Sir has been kind enough, and he's been a constant mentor for Soundarya College of Law, and so we need your support, and let us start with research forums and small roundtables where we can take this ahead and submit a policy to Kilpa. So thank you, Justice Nijagannavar sir, being here, and we're really honored to have you at our campus. Thank you very much, and thank you all. May you, and dear students, please interact, because these conferences are place for you to network, understand, meet people, because it's very important to learn from each other, and very good plenary sessions are there. I understand we cannot every 5 minutes we have to see our phone. Please pay attention, because the very, very valuable informations are being shared. So please process it, write down somewhere in your career. This will be really, really helpful. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you for your insightful and encouraging words, sir. To formally thank all the dignitaries and contributors, I now request Mr. Vishwas Puttaswamy, Vice Principal of Soundarya College of Law, to propose the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to one and all. So it is customary for a vote of thanks to come at the end of the proceedings of a function, but significantly, however, this vote of thanks I'm proposing does not only mark the end of the session, but also the beginning of a fulfilling intellectual exchange that lies ahead in a couple of hours. It is my hope that all delegations will contribute constructively and effectively for the successful conclusion of this session. So with this, it is my immense gratitude and honor that I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed Honorable Mr. Justice Ashok G. Nijagannavar for gracing this occasion with their esteemed presence. Your words of wisdom and inspiring address have truly elevated this event, leaving us enriched and motivated. On behalf of Soundarya College of Law, I extend our deepest gratitude and look forward to your continued guidance and support. Thank you, sir. It is with honor and gratitude that I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed Professor Dr. C.S. Patil, Director, Karnataka Institute for Law and Parliamentary Reforms, for presiding over today's program. Your presence has truly elevated this occasion, and we are deeply appreciative of your time and support, sir. Thank you. The holding of this conference has been made possible by generous support and invaluable encouragement by Kilpar, and once again, thank you for that, sir. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Revaya Odia, Research Head at Kilpar, for gracing this occasion with their presence. Thank you, sir. And we owe a deep gratitude to the CEO of Soundarya Group of Institution, Shri Ketan Kumar M. Your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to the growth and excellence of our institution continue to inspire us all. On behalf of Soundarya College of Law, I extend our sincere appreciation to our CEO, Mr. Ketan Kumar M, and to Shri Varun Kumar M for your gracious presence. Thank you, sir. Our heartfelt thanks to our principal, Dr. Rajashri K., conference coordinators Ms. Pranita Pai, Ms. Ria, Ms. Apurva, Ms. Akshata, and Ms. Monisha for their tireless efforts in organizing this wonderful program. Your hard work, meticulous planning, and unwavering commitment have made this event a resounding success. Thank you once again for your leadership and guidance. Thank you, madam. And I would like to thank all our invited guests for having traveled from near and far to honor us with your presence and to contribute to the discussions that will follow. So above all, I also wish to extend our warm and kind appreciation to the staff of Soundarya College of Law for their dedicated service and for the efficient administrative arrangements made, without which this session would not have been possible or successful as it has been. And a special word of appreciation to all those who worked behind the scenes. Without your efforts, none of this would have been possible. And in conclusion, I thank you once again to everyone who contributed in any way. So let's carry this positive spirit forward and continue to learn and grow and shine together. I thank you all.
We now commence with plenary session 1 of today's one-day conference. It is my absolute privilege and pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session, Dr. N.V. Vasudev Sharma, Executive Director and Trustee of the Child Rights Trust, CRT. Dr. N.V. Vasudev Sharma is a prominent child rights advocate in India, serving as the Executive Director and Trustee of the Child Rights Trust, a Bengaluru-based non-profit organization he co-founded in 2002. With over 3 decades of experience in social work, Dr. Sharma has been an instrumental in shaping child protection policies and grassroots initiatives across Karnataka. Dr. Sharma's journey in social work began with his Masters of Social Work degree from Bengaluru University 1989. His early career involved significant roles in promoting domestic adoption, participating in the Total Literacy Campaign, and serving as a regional manager for CRY, Child Rights and You. Recognizing the need for dedicated training and advocacy in child rights, Dr. Sharma co-established CRT in 2002 alongside Dr. Padmini and Dr. Anselm Rosario. The organization focuses on research, advocacy, and training related to the UN Convention on the Rights of Child, UNCRC, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, the Juvenile Justice Act, the Right to Education Act, and data collection methodologies. CRT also coordinates with the Karnataka Child Rights Observatory, a platform that monitors and reports on child rights issues in the state. Beyond CRT, Dr. Sharma has served as the chairperson of the Bengaluru District Child Welfare Committee and as a member of the Karnataka State Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. He has also been a board member of the Childline India Foundation. His contributions have been recognized with several awards, including the Karnataka State Child Welfare Award 2004, the Karnataka State Bal Vikas Award 2010, and the Charaka Development Communication Award 2011. Dr. Vasudev Sharma's enduring commitment to child rights continues to influence policies and practices striving to create a safer and more equitable environment for children across Karnataka and beyond. We welcome you to our institution, sir. I now invite our principal, Dr. Rajeshri K., to formally welcome our distinguished guest with the presentation of a sampling, a symbol of growth, knowledge, and respect. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Sharma to kindly address our gathering.
I begin thanking Apurva, because the person who is in touch with us from the beginning. Okay, dear all. In recent times, everyone is a consumer of internet. We heard all the speakers in the inauguration. From children to elderly, I really appreciate when Professor Patil said that he admitted that he is also an addict of the internet. I too, sir. we all use the internet in various ways to communicate, to receive information, to pay and to get money, entertain, and send news through mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and computers. I have studied journalism. My friends who are in journalism, they say that we all lost our jobs. Basically, everyone is a reporter. We all report on a day-to-day basis. Sitting here, I reported to my office to say that I'm sitting here, this is my evidence that I'm attending this conference. Like, it's all like that, we all become reporters. The adults claim that most children are in game zones or in reels or Instagrammed. That's what people said, they are in zombie state. They are not on the ground. They are not with their friends playing. They are not with books searching for something, but are immersed in their mobiles or laptops or tablets alone in cyberspace. Children and parents, I think some of you, and I have helped my daughter also when she was in PUC and degree, internet was everywhere. Even in our house there was internet connection at that time. We have helped each other to complete our assignments. But today even homework is done using this. And let us admit, we also write papers reading on the net. That's a fact. We all wear protective gears while traveling. Helmet or an umbrella or a jacket, shoes or something. While playing, we use guards and all that. But we hardly wear or use any protection gear when we enter or let our children enter the open world called internet or digital space. There is no gear, there is no protective gear. Many adults hardly know something called protective systems are there. We don't know that there is something called virus guard. Many people don't know. And we also don't know there is something called protective shield that they can apply. This overtime on the digital world without appropriate protection is demanding us to discuss the subject protecting children in the digital world. I take this opportunity to congratulate Soundarya College of Law and Karnataka Institute of Law and Parliamentary Reforms for jointly organizing this one-day conference on protection of children in the digital world. ನಾನು ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ. A very timely discussion that demands a positive role to be played by every stakeholder, particularly the adults. I also thank you on behalf of child rights groups and authorities for educating the young law students and teachers and practitioners to be sensitive to the issue of digital abuse of children and to be prepared to protect children from such abuses and exploitation. The global move, let us understand this. UN SDG, that is Sustainable Development Goals 2016 to 30, in the goal 16, which talks about peaceful and inclusive society, under 16.2 specifically mentions protect children from abuse, exploitation, trafficking and violence. Earlier it used to happen physically, but now it can happen digitally. It can happen from distance. So ensure that children are not exposed to violence in their homes, schools, communities and online. So prevent it. How do you do it? That is the global call. Keeping the SDG 16 and SDG 10 particularly, which talks about reduced inequalities, UNICEF proposes the following. It says, providing access to quality online resources. UNICEF never says, stop, prevent, don't let children touch it. It says, let them touch it, let them use it, let them make use of it in a positive manner. And then it says, protecting children from harm. We need to safeguard children from online abuse, trafficking, cyberbullying and exposure to unsuitable material. Then the third is, it says, safeguarding children's privacy. That's the biggest issue nowadays, privacy compromising. And then teaching digital literacy. Let them learn how to make use of it. Don't keep them away from it. So when we have to keep them informed, we have to also teach them how to use it. To ride a bicycle, we all have to put some effort, exercise, take help from somebody else. We think that everyone, by just taking the mobile in their hand, can learn everything. Not really. It needs some kind of guidance. Understand that today we are discussing in the 3 interconnected sessions about, 1, we are beginning here, the role of law enforcement agencies in protecting children's rights in the digital space. Before entering into the enforcement agencies, I am taking this freedom to talk about the problem, the introduction to the problem, law, and only stop at the agency's role. Because in the next sessions, our friends are talking about cyber, forensics and technology and educating children on online safety. So for that, I think I'm laying the ground. So I'm taking that onus. So what is it? We have to move towards safer internet. Recently, on 11th February, starting from 2004, we observe Safer Internet Day around 2 themes. This year we observed it on 2 themes. One is, it says, Together for a Better Internet, which aims to promote a safe and responsible internet experience, especially for children and young people. Let them use it in a safe manner. Secondly, very interesting, it says, too good to be true, be careful, too good to be true. Not everything that you see is fair. ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಲಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಸತ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ನಂಬಿಡ್ಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ. ನಮಗೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸತಿ. ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ but the secretary passes rules to say that you have to register. ಆ ಥರದಲ್ಲಿ sometimes we'll be reading about, let us say, a law or a program. Who knows? It can be about US, it can be about South Africa. We think that it is from India. If you quote it, you are caught. So you should be very careful in what you are reading, where it is generated, where it originates, and is it really relevant to us or not. So too good to be true, protecting yourself and others from scams online. So on these two topics, the Safer Internet Day was observed recently. These very well suit our discussion today. One, ensuring that the internet and cyberspace should be made available to everyone without any discrimination. It should be made available. I mean, thanks to Indian business people, should I use the terms like thanks to Geo or thanks to somebody else, it has made possible everyone to make use of internet. Probably in India, we are the people who are paying very less for internet space. Yesterday there was a news, be careful, there is a 15% increase on it. Right? It happens. Secondly, we need to make it safe for children and everyone so that the best of resources are made available to everyone for the growth and development. Echoing what UNICEF has said. In the context of today's subject, that is centered around creating safer internet or digital space for children, I am posing a few statements before you and I want your one-word response. This is not a quiz, and I encourage everyone to think and respond yes or no, that's all. Okay? And I had no time, otherwise I would have animated it. You will see all these statements. I wanted one by one, but I thought I can do it. Let me start. Every child who enters the internet gets bullied. Yes or no? No. Thank you. Second, strangers on the net are a danger to children. Yes? Not always. Okay. The net is full of inappropriate content for children. No. Thank you. There are only predators waiting to abuse children on social media. So you are there, I am there. Are we waiting to abuse children? Think about it. But I and you can become an abuser very easily, given a chance, right? Children get addicted to social media and online games. No. Why should they? If they know how to, they will not. Then, children lose social skills if they spend a lot of time on the internet. That's what psychologists say. Yes. Because my daughter has stopped talking to me recently. No, she's 35. It is always strangers who bully and trouble our children. Think. It is always strangers who bully and trouble our children. No. Even the known people can bully. When we have a case where a teacher has bullied children, known person, an uncle bullying his own niece and everyone, possible. Friends bully each other, right? People from the same group, peer group, bully each other, possible. Like tech-savvy children of the current generation know everything on the internet. Certainly no. Okay? Lastly, in that, children are smart enough to handle any threat or abusive situation in the digital space. No. Yeah, we need to help them. Thank you. Thanks for the responses. So you are all awake. These are some of the myths the parents, government, teachers, and the law enforcement agencies have, and they also want the children to follow it. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕೂತಿದ್ದು ನಿಲ್ಸು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಚೇರ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಭಯ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಮೀ? ನೋ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಹಂಗಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಭಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬಂದರು ಹತ್ತಿರ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಚೀಟಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದರು ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಹೇಳಿಯಾರೆ 40 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. So these myths are there for the families, teachers, parents, and even law enforcement agencies, and they also want the children to follow it. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, we started creating a fear psychosis even among children, telling that be careful. Like if you continue to tell children be careful while playing or walking, they'll say I will not play at all, I will not walk at all. ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಡೆದ್ರೆ ತಾನೇ ಎಡಬೋದು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಎಡವುದಾಗಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ಟಲ್ಲೂ ಎಡವು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಇವನ್ ದೇರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. So, the European Union began observing Safer Internet Day on every second Tuesday of February 2004, basically to bust the myths and also to facilitate everyone to use the tool called Internet safely with responsibility. Of course, it has an element to raise awareness about not to become victims because of ignorance or arrogance. Now, it happens like that. For example, during Corona, we were told that wear the mask. But some people said, nangen agala. That arrogance, nangen agala. We have that arrogance even in using internet. For example, many of us think that nobody can scam me. You must have read recently, several years ago, it repeated just yesterday, they brought that news again because of some other reason. One DIG of Karnataka lost money. He became a victim of a fraudster. And later he said, no, I let that happen just to catch hold of him. So we think that it will not happen to me. Nanige cold, baralla. Something of that kind. So it is also arrogance that we have. So I'm just giving you a representative list of cases. These are all just one-line cases about how we are looking at it. These are all concocted names. So any similarity to these names, I'm giving a disclaimer. Okay, nobody. Let's say an urban boy, a 12-year-old boy, who became addicted to online gaming and was lured into sharing personal information with strangers. What happens? Probably he might have shared information about his father's credit card or his mother's bank account. We don't know. A rural girl, a 10-year-old girl who was bullied online by classmates, leading to anxiety and fear. I have not written here she committed suicide. No, I have only stopped there. Okay, possibilities are there. It is happening in India, in Karnataka, in Bengaluru, even in rural areas too. An urban trans child. You may question, trans at 17? Yes, possible. An urban trans child, a 17-year-old trans boy who faced online harassment and hate speech affecting his mental health. Possible. Then, a rural girl, a 16-year-old girl who was tricked into sharing explicit content with someone she met online. Here, when I say explicit content, probably you'll understand, she must have shared nude photographs of her or private parts of her. So, what happens to such incidents? We can look at several kinds of abuses that are happening. In the beginning, in the inauguration, our speakers used a few. I'm trying to give a list. This is not limited. Probably it continues. Let's look at the list. Probably one word is enough for you to understand. Hacking. Our teacher was telling that when she goes to schools, am I stealing your sentence? Okay. I'm hacked. Rather, I'm hacking. When she goes to schools to help children learn how to behave properly on the internet, it seems students ask her, Madam, how to hack the mobiles? No, hacking has become very common. So that's why probably the other term which has come to practice is ethical hacking. how to hack somebody's machine, but only for ethical purposes. Then violation of privacy. We all lost actually. We are given all our information, starting from my mobile number, and this mobile tracks wherever I go and reports. You must have experienced it. You pass through Lal Bagh and next there is a message, how was Lal Bagh? Thank God it's only about Lal Bagh. I pass through a bar, next time it comes, how was Venkateshwara bar? No, it happens. So, privacy. Cyberbullying, which is very common now. Thankfully, so far I am not a victim of that. I think so. Then online harassment. Today, newspapers as well as TV channels have started advertisements on it, how to prevent it. Stranger danger, particularly with children. Then online grooming, leading to trafficking, leading to sexual exploitation. Now, it is not even touching the child physically. It is almost, now it is called online rape. All these are coming into usage. Sexting. Most adults, adolescents are into it. Sexting. Sending sexual messages on text form. Online extortion. Sir, calling from RBI, calling from CBI. The moment we understand it, today we have learned, patak, switch off and then block that number. But they are intelligent, they call again from another number. Then sextortion. I think you understand what it means. Demanding money, morphing your pictures. It happens to men also, right? Then cyber stalking. One of our leading politicians in the country was actually questioned on it for cyber stalking. Okay? Then sexual exploitation, we understand it. Hate speech and defamation, sending information about you in a wrong manner to somebody else. Identity theft, I think we all experienced it in various forms. I remember about 10 years ago, I thought it is a fun, it is joke, when somebody called to say that they are calling from State Bank of India and they want to know something about my credit card. I know that I am falling into the trap. I gave them all the information till they said that, sir, now tell me what is that, OTP. Then I said, Bhaiya, I saw what has come. I will not give my OTP. So we think that it's a joke, but I was already a victim of that. I wrote to SBI telling that this is what happened. They blocked my card. And to get it released, I have to pay 650 rupees. I had a big fight. I got the 650 rupees later, after 3 years. Exposure to inappropriate content, identity theft, child pornography, big one. It's a big business also. 9 years ago, when some of us met at Dhaka in a conference about cyber exploitation of children, we thought that, we were under the impression that India it is not happening. But in many southeastern countries, this has become a household business. Families are putting their children in front of the camera. They have to perform what the client says. So it has become a big business. Families accept, we need money, we are doing it. But later we got to know that it's there in India also. TDH, Paradise Home, had and some of the groups joined together and they had prepared an imaginary AI generated doll, a character called Sweetie. Sweetie enters into dialogue with the client and sends information to the police, to the agency about the IP address of the person who is using the mobile or computer to catch hold of them. They've caught not hundreds, thousands of people, majority of them from India and Middle East. Then revenge porn. morphing. You must have heard about it. Schoolboys have started it, revenge porn. And today, thanks to ChatGPT and others, very easy to morph my face to somebody's face. It's easy, they do it. Then online predating, online child trafficking, these are all some of the crimes that are happening, and we should be aware of it. Particularly the law students, if you are into practicing Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita shortly, then you should be knowing about these aspects. So what happens? You can't simply sulk and die, commit suicide. There is help. So you need to go for help. When these children, let us say, they confided with their teachers and parents, very difficult. Don't tell me, oh, they did it so easily. No, not all children go. Probably one among 50, 60, 100 children, they go and tell their parents or teachers about it, or to the counselor. They reported the incident to the District Child Protection Unit. I'm sharing information about the people. These are the first line order, District Child Protection Unit. And through them, they called the police by calling 1098. 1098 is the child line, or the 112, that is the police helpline. And also making use of Telemanas 14416. These three free online services are available. Please share these numbers with children as well as with adolescents. And the concerned law enforcement agencies reported the same to the District Child Welfare Committee, CWC. CWC governed under the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act. The authorities took swift action. Really, believe me, the authorities took swift action. DCPU provided counseling and support to the children and their families. CWC, after due verifications, filed complaints with the police and also ensured the children's safety. CWC generally directs the police to file complaint. And the local police and the cyber police, CEN police, registered cases against the unknown perpetrators and worked to identify and apprehend them. Believe me, it happened. Not that as per the old Hindi films, what is it, sir? Kanun ka haath bahut lamba hai. At the end of the film, the police will appear to nab the culprits. But it is happening nowadays. People are catching. And the Legal Services Authority, there is something called Karnataka State Legal Services Authority, you must be knowing. And then District Legal Services Authority. And at Taluk level also there is Legal Services, legal service, Taluk level ali. Not authority, it is called Kerastila. Clinic, clinic at the court level. Committee, thank you. District Legal Services Committees are there. They will provide the necessary help. And let us say, believe me, the public prosecutors counseled the children and facilitated them to give appropriate evidences and take part effectively in the cross-examination. I have a big, long list of grouse against the public prosecutors in the state. I know I'm making an allegation here. They fail our cases, public prosecutors. I mean, many public prosecutors don't do their homework properly. I'm making this because some of you may become public prosecutors shortly. Keep this in mind. And when you become the public prosecutors and when you perform properly, I can leave my phone number. Tell me that I succeeded in this case, I did my homework properly. Because I have a long list of grouse against the public prosecutors. Then judiciary ordered physical and identity protection of the children and ensured that the perpetrators faced consequences. Media, they reported about the incident in a sensitive manner. I don't think anybody will believe this. They reported in a sensitive manner and avoided re-victimization of the children. I'm using these technical terms particularly, deliberately, because the media reports giving all the identity, the child's name, school name, parent's name, class, what is the sister's name, mother's name, what is the cousin's name, all that, address also. And some media people put a camera in front of this house. So all these are nonsense actually, the role played by media. I mean, I get sometimes ashamed I studied media. It happens like that. So media has to be sensitive. And NGOs, okay, I represent NGOs, think that we are doing a good job. We also have, bad apples in the lot. Media, rather NGOs, with the support and participation of NCPCR, that is National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, and SCPCR, as well as DCPU, initiated Down to Zero, I Am for Better and Safer Internet campaign in the schools and the communities on protection of children in the digital world. So this is the Down Zero campaign that is going on world over by several organizations coming together. It is about Down Zero means putting an end to all the abuses that are happening for children, particularly on the net. So, support from schools and communities is the biggest requirement. The children's schools, NGOs, law enforcement agencies, and the community rallied around them, the children, providing counseling and training counselors as well as teachers to work with the children to address their emotional trauma. Most of the schools don't have counselors, trained counselors particularly. Most of the teachers don't know how to counsel. Now, counseling has become a bad word. My daughter once, when she was in school, she came and told me, how many years ago? 2007 or so. Appa, you know what happened? 3 girls were sent for counseling. That's how she said. I said, oh, counseling? You have a counselor in school? Hoo pa, counseling kalsidru. Andre, danger irbeku. But it should not be like that. Counseling is not a dangerous element. It is a helping process. But unfortunately, counseling means bayodu. Counseling means hadrasodu. That should change. Sometimes I feel, I am also a trained counselor in social work, but what to do? That's the thing. So awareness programs that are required. Schools in collaboration with NGOs and law school volunteers organize workshops to educate teachers and non-teaching staff, bada mukyavagi, students and parents about online safety and digital citizenship through the Down Zero campaign. They spoke about 1098. They spoke about telemanas. They spoke about police. Police hatra hogodre tumba janake hedarike. Police have to be seen as a friend, not as a fraud. We have to go and talk to police, visit police station, and try to know what they are doing. So there is something called Terada Mane in Karnataka, where school children are taken to police station to introduce them what police do like. Well, and finally, community support. Local organizations and community members offered support and resources to the families. I know it's very difficult to believe this because in our communities, if a family is facing some problem, they have to fight their issue alone. Many community people, they shut their doors and say, Namgo avrgu sambandha illappa anta. But we have to be open. We have to go and help when people need it. Like, what's the outcome? Thanks to the efforts of law enforcement agencies, media, NGOs, law students, schools, and the community, children received and the protection and support they needed. The perpetrators were held accountable and the children were able to heal and rebuild their lives. Most cases, if children are victims, what happens is the school or the college first says, Sir, bere college gogi sir, bere school gogi. Nimman dibar martivi navu. Nimage beka TC ivag kodtivi. Nimdu innu fees kodbeka yochane illa ota bidi neevu illi irbedi. That is how children are treated in most of the schools and colleges. But if we treat it sensitively, we have to rebuild their future. We have to help them to repair, to heal. That is what required. With this story, I am highlighting the importance of collaboration. Big word, collaboration. And support in preventing and protecting children from online abuse. By working together, we can create a safer digital environment for all children. An appropriate information sharing and awareness creation is the need of the hour to prevent any abuse before a child breaks down mentally, gets affected by trauma, hurts oneself or others, runs away, or goes missing, or gets trafficked, or sexually abused digitally or physically, or commits suicide. So, identify, extend your helping hand. So, Down to Zero campaign contains, as I said, raising awareness and prevention. I will not get into the detailing of that. You have understood by now. Empowering children, not to scare them about the mobile or the internet, but to help them to use it in a positive manner. It is like a knife in your house. To cut a fruit or to kill oneself. What do you make? Internet is also like that. Make use of it. Strengthening reporting mechanism and protection. The moment you think or you sense something problematic, report it. Don't wait for the trouble to come on you and you die. And collaboration to rehabilitation, that's what required. So by working together, the Down to Zero campaign aims to create a safer online environment. So we are all consumers of internet service. As consumers, internet being a product that is bought, it is a product. I know our speakers in the morning have already finished what I wanted to say. The product is controlling us. Now, how to help our children to understand that you are using it, you are not being used by that. That is which is very, very requirement. That's why in the Safer Internet Day, we are all talking about make use of the tool, but in a sensible manner. That is what it is talking about. Protection from exploitation, preservation of innocence, that is what required, because a lot of people are grooming boys and girls to send them explicit photographs. That is where it starts. And promoting healthy online habits. So, what are the issues related to upholding child rights in the digital space? Well, stressing that to uphold the rights of children for their survival, protection, development, and participation in the world, the parents, the society, and the government should make way for children to have access to the internet with necessary safer measures. Your helmet, your jacket, your guard, your boot, like that, you also be aware of what are the safety measures that we should have on our mobiles or on our internet. But unfortunately, I go to a medical shop, unfortunately, I go to a medical shop, unfortunately, there, because many sentences we think here, by the time it comes out of the mouth, the sentence had to be rebuilt. It takes time. It's very difficult for teachers and also to the speakers. Be careful. I go to a medical shop. There, the shopkeeper's daughter and the mother, they were having fights, because every now and then the mobile password has to be put. ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಬಂದು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತಾಳೆ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತಾಳೆ. ಪ್ರಾಯಶಃ ಅವಳು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಕಿರೋದೇ ತಪ್ಪ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದೇ ತಪ್ಪ, ಅಥವಾ ಇವರು ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಲಿಮಿಟು ಫ್ಯೂ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ತಪ್ಪ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೇನೇ ಅವರು ಒಂದು 3-4 ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ತಂದು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತಾಳೆ, ಅವಳು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಕೈಗೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟ್ರನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಬದಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ At the same time, children also need to learn how to make use of the available digital space safely. Adikoskara, let's go back to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child 1989. What they have done, lot of extensive discussions have taken place. Probably ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ you might have seen the Netflix series Adolescence, where the digital issue has come up. Bullying, you know. Don't say it's only in UK. It's happening in Bengaluru. It is happening in your locality too. Maybe in your neighborhood. Okay. So UNICEF has thought about it, and they're talking about cyberbullying and harassment. Children are vulnerable. They've accepted these things globally. Children are vulnerable to online abuse, which can lead to emotional distress and mental health issue. Secondly, sexual exploitation and abuse. Children are at risk of being exploited and abused online, which can have severe physical and emotional consequences. I am not giving you any statistics because it won't stay in your mind. The statistics shows that ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಭಯ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲ್ ಆಗಿ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಅರ್ಬನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ರೂರಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ದ ರೂರಲ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್, 70%. Of the 140 crores population in India, estimated number, 30.1% are children, that is below 18. 14 ಮೂರ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? 14 ಮೂರ್ಲಿ 14 3s 47. Let us say 47 to 50 crores of children below 18 in India. Of the 140, something should strike our minds. 90 crore adults, that is above 18. Of that, almost 15 crores are our Mr. Patils, who are 60 above. I am entering into it in another 5-6 months. I will join you, sir. 15 crores. Of the 90 crores, 15 crores are old. We hardly have 90 minus 15. Please wake up. 90 minus 15. You need a calculator? Arey, I never heard anybody talking. 90 minus 15. 75 your population. That is between 18 to 60. Almost 50 crores children. 15 crores buddhas, old. Only 75 crore youth population, who are between 19 to 60. So this population has a responsibility, but this 50 crores population, children, are going to become adults. What kind of adults they have to become? That is what UNICEF is worried. I am only talking about India. Think about the global aspects. So it is talking about how to implementing child rights impact assessment. How do we take? Okay. Next is data privacy concerns they have brought in. Exposure to harmful content. Digital divide and inequality has to be bridged. So they are trying to tell every company, your Google, your Facebook, your Meta or your Instagram, everyone to say that install child rights by design, apply child rights by design, so that it is not hacked, so that it is not troubling children. Second, regulation and enforcement, government and the service providers have to be aware of. And they also said, UNICEF has said that you as a service provider, you have a role to educate and create awareness about misuse, abuse, and also the difficulties. And finally, they have talked about access to justice system, but none of these companies are following it. They say yes, at the global level meetings with UNICEF, UN and all that, they agree, but when it comes to ground level, they are not agreeing to it. Rather, they are not following it. You might have seen that even though the government of India has said that remove some contents because it's harmful to children, they don't. But if you put a photograph or a video of the ICC cricket and say something wrong going on, immediately your content is removed. They say, as per the policy of the company, the content of this post is not in accordance. They immediately remove. But if there is a nude photograph of a child, it will stay for long. It will stay forever. They don't remove it. Okay? This is how the double standard of these companies, money making. In India, we have a national policy for children, 2013. It recognizes the importance of protecting children's rights in the digital environment. 2013, it has already recognized. While specific initiatives under this policy may not be directly focused on digital rights, India's adherence to international framework like the UNCRC informs its approach to protecting children online. It is talking about implementing child rights impact assessment in India. Probably some of you will be part of that soon. It is going on. Basically targeting at the businesses, how they are making use of it. Second, providing safe and accessible digital environment to children, promoting digital literacy. All these are happening with this work. Looking into the legal instruments and law enforcement agencies, I don't think I need to repeat all these, what the agencies are working at. Cyberbullying, online predators, exposure to inappropriate content, and data privacy concerns. So from all these point of view, there is a requirement of the law practitioners to be aware of what's happening around and what can be your role. Probably this conference is also towards it to sensitize you people and to take up your profession seriously to protect children. I'm here quoting one small provision from the Constitution where under Article 15.3 in the morning the person who inaugurated mentioned about it. The state shall make specific provisions for women and children, 15.3. Then under 21 it talks about protection of life and personality, liberty, which has been interpreted to include the right to safety and protection from harm, including online harm. A few judgments are there. In fact, in the what is that? Stalking. While talking about stalking in the court, the learned judge, he used Article 21 is being compromised. We have to protect that person. And under Article 39F, the state shall direct its policy towards ensuring that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity. If the children are getting abused because of the abuse or misuse of the internet, it is also the responsibility of the government, state responsibility to protect children. So we have National Policy for Children 2013, as I mentioned. I don't think I need to take up elaborate discussion on the IT Act. I'm sure the next speakers will be quoting that IT Act a lot then. Then we have the Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986. Women includes children and particularly girl child. And then getting into the POXO Act. POXO, my time is over. Not yet, madam. I think I'll live for some more years. Yeah. So, the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, in its section 11 and section 13 and 14, it is talking about the abuses that children are facing in the cyber world or cyberspace. And under pornography, children are being protected. The punishment is from 3 years to 7 years, and sometimes it can even lead to lifelong imprisonment. Anybody assisting in photography or processing of digital data also will come under the scanner. The Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act. Here, under section 2, it defines who is a child. Any person up to 18 years. Rather, a person who has not completed 18 years is a child. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 18ಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, 18ಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಬಿದ್ದರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 18 ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ಐ ಫೇಸ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್ ವೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಮ್ಮಗಳು, ಅಪ್ಪಗಳು, ಮಾವಗಳು, ಈವನ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ 18ಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, 18ಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಅದೇಂಗ್ರಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. 18ಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಳೋದಲ್ಲ, 18ರಿಂದ ಏಳಬೇಕು, ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಆವಾಗ ಅವರು ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ತನವನ್ನು ಮೀರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್. ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಜುವೆನೈಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 18th year ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ in one way you will be given protection under the care and protection. Second, even if you are a culprit, rather let us say you have abused the law, you abused the situation, you will be treated to cure yourself. Offense is seen as a problem and that will be cured by the Juvenile Justice Board under the same act. I will not get into the details. So the section 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act prohibits providing children with intoxicating liquor or narcotic drug or psychotropic substances. What is the relationship between section 77, where it prohibits psychotropic or drug, to cyber issues? Because a child who is intoxicated may be dragged or pushed into pornographic material creation or acts. Very easy. So that's how it is being brought together. You're all legal luminaries, law ಓದ್ತಿರೋರು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ನಾನು ಭಾರತೀಯ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಂಹಿತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬಾರ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಭಾರತೀಯ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಂಹಿತೆ 2023, the first thing which we are all very happy, people who are working in the field of children and child rights, the definition, section 2(3), it defines child as a person who has not completed 18 years of age. Probably first time it has come in, and it's a big compliment to many of us, I should say, who have worked in the field of children and child rights, pushing the parliamentarians to consider child as a person below 18 years. Now our agenda is pushing government to bring an amendment to the constitution, amendment only, not changing, to the constitution, to say that child means a person below 18 years. Because right now, if you look at the constitution, it talks about up to 14 years somewhere. Because under the fundamental rights, that up to 14 years a child should not be put into work in factories. Second, Article 21A talks about free and compulsory education for children in the age group of 6 to 14. What about 14 to 18 then? Should they go to work? We don't know. The constitution is not so clear about it. But the other act says that no, up to 18 you cannot work. Then where they should go? No education, no work, but what to do? So we want a constitutional amendment to say that right to education up to 18 years. Finally, I am coming to the last part, the law enforcement agencies and their role in protecting child rights. The government agencies are departments that are responsible for enforcing laws and maintaining public order are spread across from village level to national level. Man, I would like to bring to your notice, at the village level we have something called Women and Child Protection Committee. Many places they are just on paper, but we have to activate. If you are going to work in villages, you need to activate them. Then the local police station with a dedicated cybercrime cell or officer, and then district cybercrime cell with a cell to handle cybercrime cases, state cybercrime cell, many things are there, state police cybercrime wing, and up to the national level we have. What do they do? They are largely into investigating crimes, gathering evidences, and identifying suspects. But what is the responsibility of the victim? Many victims don't know what kind of evidence we have to give. So I always feel that we all have to be educated about how to identify and gather evidence. If there is a crime against me, how to gather evidence. Secondly, when coming from NGOs, many of my teammates, we keep visiting the court to give evidence in the box. So we don't know how to give evidence. So I conduct a program from our own people, our own brethren, that how to give evidence, how to not get scared by the advocates. They shout at you, but in spite of that, you have to be cool and say, please don't shout, ask me a question. We should ask them. I train my team members. Then secondly, the advocates ask questions in such a manner that even if you say yes, you are caught. If you say no, also you are caught. So I will help them to say that please reframe the question. If they don't listen, I'll tell the judge how to tell the judge. Judge has to listen to us. Okay. So when you get trained as a lawyer, please don't be a scary person to the person who come to give witness. Secondly, apprehending suspects, the role of the law enforcement agency, then maintaining public safety and enforcing laws and regulations. I know in our country many things go very slow unless or if you are an influential person, it happens very fast. Otherwise, even a sniffing dog, they don't run, they walk. So from cyber crimes and digital safety perspective, the role of these agencies include like not only this, also education. Well, with this, I'm sure this discussion today is going to give enough room of course, in an offline setting also for us to discuss ways and means to use the most precious tool of our days, the
Conference, Cyber Forensics and Technology, Tools for Investigating Digital Crimes Involving Children. Let me first introduce our first speaker for today, Ms. Priyanka Vaidyanath, Cybercrime Intervention Officer, Bangalore. Ms. Priyanka serves as a Senior Manager, Corp Connect Operations and Head of CSR at ISEC, in addition to being a qualified cyber lawyer. With over 200 cybercrime interventions to her credit, she has supported victims across India, demonstrating a deep commitment to digital justice and safety. She brings with her 8 years of teaching experience at reputed institutions in Bangalore and holds an LLM in Constitutional and Administrative Law from School of Law, Christ University. She secured first rank in her LLM, earning the Academic Excellence Award. She further enriched her legal acumen through a summer school at the Hague Academy of International Law held at the International Court of Justice, Netherlands. A passionate public speaker and educator, Ms. Priyanka has delivered over 50 cyber awareness sessions across resident communities, women groups, schools, and universities. Her expertise has earned her a place on prominent panels, including the Southern Regional Law Review consultation on cyber laws affecting women, organized by the National Commission for Women, where she shared critical insights on online child sexual abuse. She also spoke on similar issues as a panelist in the National Police Academy, Hyderabad. Ms. Priyanka's thought leadership extends to media as well. She was featured on the podcast Coffee with Counsel, where she shed light on evolving modus operandi of cybercrimes in India. In recognition of her impactful work in community safety and cyber awareness, she was recently honored as a Safe Community Advocate by Security Today as part of their Top Indian Women Influencers and Initiatives for Security and Safety 2025. On behalf of Soundarya College of Law, we extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am. I would request our Vice Principal, sir, to formally welcome our guest by presenting a sapling.
Once again.
Thank you, sir. I now invite our distinguished speaker to kindly address the gathering.
A very warm afternoon. It's working? Yeah. Good afternoon to the dignitaries and a special good afternoon to my faculty, Ujjwala ma'am, who's standing here. So if I fumble in between my speech, please note that I am speaking in front of my teacher, so that fear is always there in me. So I have another disclaimer. I will be running through my presentation because I have another very important professional commitment. So I'll be taking only 10 minutes of your time. And I will be shifting my burden to Dr. Kumar sir. who is also very sound in technical aspect of forensic. So my questions in terms of forensic and the rest of it, sir has graciously accepted to take the burden on him. So with this disclaimer, I'll quickly start. I have been given a very arduous task to speak about cyber forensic, though I have been very active in terms of intervention where we help cyber victims. Though we have forensic investigators in our team, so with their expertise I could gain some knowledge so that I could pass on to all of you as well in terms of how forensic works when it comes to cyber crimes. Since we are focusing much on the crimes that affect children, I will be specifically limiting my own self to one of the most unfortunate crimes that is leveled against children, that is the child sexual abusive material, because I have had personal experiences also to talk to DGPs, how they deal with in terms of investigation. So that will be my course of thanks. That will be my course of my speech for the 10 minutes that I'll be quickly speaking. So going on to the first basic question, how does cybersecurity impact us? So as you all know, we have been hearing from the morning that cybercrimes are happening to all of us, and let me tell you, cybercrimes is something that is very individualized, but however, crimes are also leveled against companies, against government organizations, and also, of course, children. And children are the most affected. So giving you a brief statistics in terms of the cyber crimes in India, if you can see the number of the reports, the number of cases that were reported is about 740,000 in the first 4 months of 2024. Just imagine in the first quarter, if this is the case that is reported, then imagine throughout the year. And let me also tell you, underreporting is also another issue that we face. And this is only the figures in terms of the cases that are reported. Financial losses exceeding 120 crores. I'm sure all of us know the different modus operandis when it comes to financial losses, be it digital arrest or be it any other kind of phishing scam. Financial losses are, of course, the most common in cybercrimes. Online manipulated who was groomed on Instagram, and she started stripping live on Instagram. When that is recorded, what will you treat that as? Do you treat it as child pornography, or would you treat that as a child sexually exploitative, abusive material? So to give it a wider meaning and wider understanding of the landscape, we no longer use the term child pornography, but however we use the term CSEAM. Cyberbullying, of course, sir has also been mentioning. Now to give you a brief statistics, 80% of children in India are victims of cyberbullying. We have crossed US. US stood first, and now we have crossed US. And again, another problem with bullying is reporting. When we get cases of cyberbullying, the first thing that when we speak to the child, they say, "Ma'am, we don't want our parents to know about it." Then we say, "Can you please go and open up to your school counselors or teachers?" They say, "We don't have trust in them. They will also break this issue to my parents." And if we are intervening in such cases, please note that these are minors, so we will also eventually tell the parents, because minors, you know legally how the minor's consent is no consent, right? We cannot do anything without the parents being aware of it. So this is the issue that we face when it comes to cyberbullying. Online sextortion. Sir told about what sextortion is and how it works. Now let me give you a real life example of how sextortion works. There was a case that I had to intervene personally. This was a case that happened in Chandra Layout in Bangalore. This boy, who was in 10th standard, was studying for his 10th final exams at about 11 o'clock at night. At night, he receives a video call on WhatsApp. This child accepts the video call, thinking that it is a group study that is happening. And the moment he accepts the call, he sees another lady who is undressing herself on the other side. And he's just in 10th standard. Imagine his mind, imagine his situation. So the moment he sees that, he disconnects the call. Within seconds, they have taken screenshot. They have taken screenshot of it. In the screenshot, you see the child's face visible very clearly. Started abusing him, saying that we will go to the station, saying you demanded for phone sex. But in reality, that was not the case. And what the child had to do, they forced him, of course, into financial fraud. So he ended up giving up to 2.5 lakhs from his mother's device. And later, of course, he fell into depression because he couldn't confess this to his mother. Mother only got to know about 2-3 days later when the bank balance went low. And when she questioned this child, he left home and he ran away. 1 week search police did. Later, his body was found in the railway track. Very, very unfortunate situation, but that is how kids are extremely affected, because it is not just sextortion. Along with that also comes the aspect of financial fraud, and kids, the trauma that they go is pretty bad. Coming on to data privacy. Data privacy, I would want to give you a case. There is a Barbie doll from the company called Mattel, which was very famous in US, which is an interactive doll. So you can talk to the toy and the toy records your voice. This was in fact used to level a very personalized sextortion against kids in US, and there was a lot of issues. Now again, why unfortunate? Similar toy has also come in India now. It's in the form of Peppa Pig, where kids can toy with Peppa Pig. Privacy issues also there, and this lack of protection in terms of data privacy can lead to again severe consequences. Now, I made a statement which says kids get caught in the crimes unaware of the dire consequences. It is not that kids become the victim only. Kids also, without knowing, become perpetrators of crimes. How does this happen? So I'll be using the term CCIO. I will tell you what CCIO is later. One of the CCIOs that we know had to intervene in a case where, now let's consider a scenario saying a boy A and B. These two boys were about 13 years of age, and WhatsApp was just introduced. One boy, let's call him B, was extremely intelligent and smart, and he receives a video from his friend, and his friend says, can you please make this video viral? And imagine the just introduction of WhatsApp. All of us were so enthusiastic to use WhatsApp. This boy does make the video viral, and things go smooth. These two boys grow up, and boy B goes to one of the very reputed IITs in India. And when he's about 19-20 years of age, police knock the door of his parents and say, your son is under arrest. And the parents are taken aback. They ask why. And they say, your son is responsible for circulating CSAM material. So they couldn't believe it, and when the boy was questioned, please note, there is something called as a digital footprint. Whatever you do online stays online, right? So this video that he had circulated 6 years ago resurfaced, became viral again. And when they could route it back, it was to this device this boy's device through which it was made viral. So without knowing the consequences, kids unfortunately also get into a lot of trouble this way. So this is just a news piece for you in terms of how child porn is being busted in India. And this is a news piece about how Supreme Court has come up with a very strong judgment and has also directed all the courts to say that please do not use the term child pornography, instead of use CSEAM, replace child pornography with that. Now, child sexually abusive material, what does it stand for? Number one, it is a document, e-document, which gives you the evidence of child abuse. And the problem with such documents is the problem of tracing, right? Where it originated, which device it originated. So I was talking about the aspect of evidence, and if you're looking into evidence in terms of cyber crimes, the main problem is the victims delete it on their original device. Then it becomes a task to find out in the secondary device and certification of those. All of those is a cumbersome process, right? Now this is the statistics of CSAM, and unfortunately, if you can see, India stands first in terms of circulation of CSAM material. To give you the evidence to this, I will also have in other slides to prove the numbers that I have been displayed. So of course, internet is the source for promoting CSAM material. The consequence of CSAM being so easily accessible are these. Kids are also getting addicted to sexual, sexual addiction is growing. There is an impact on behavior because they take women and girls to be granted. There are games, trust me, there are games which says how to rape a girl. There are games which says how you can vandalize a school, right? Because gaming is one of the sector which is not completely regulated in India. Though PUBG is banned, do you think we can't get access to it? Of course we can, right? So this is another issue that we are facing in terms of regulation. So this is the statistics in terms of pure crimes that is seen through minors. If you can see amongst teenagers between 10 to 17 years old who regularly use the internet, 20% receive sexual content. Sir gave us good questions of yes or no. We also so happily answered it. But yes, there are majority of cases where kids do have access to unwanted, unwarranted pages, right? Gaming platform. Kids play games, but they discuss about it on Discord. They discuss about it on Instagram. Instagram today is one of the major source for pornographic content, right? Anyways, so these are the, again, few more statistics. Let me skip this. As I told you, I have paucity of time. Case studies. This is very, very interesting. So this is where my aspect of forensic also starts. So the first case study is named Kids, the Light of Our Lives. Such a nice name, right? But do you know what that happens? That's a live chat room where the sexual abusive material of kids are shared, right? So this is the first case study, and the second one is Operation Game Over, where the big companies such as Microsoft, Apple, Disney, all of them came together to pull down the content online with regard to child sexually abusive materials. Operation Playpen is one of the most famous operations that you can come across when you do your research with regard to child sexually abusive material. So Operation Playpen is very, very interesting. So what happened is the FBI was alerted by one of the law enforcement agencies that there is a lot of child sexual abusive material that is running online. When the FBI could track the source, they did not pull him down altogether. They took 2 weeks' time. What did they do? They infected the source and injected with malware. So whoever is viewing, they could get their personal information, right? This is what FBI did. And of course the Playpen creator was later sentenced to 30 years of imprisonment. And believe me, the number of users were more than 75,000 with regards to the access to the CSAM material. And these are the numbers in terms of international arrests and the other arrests that happened in US. Operation P Hunt is something very specific to India. Kerala police under the aegis of Cyber Dome has done a very good job in terms of, and in fact Kerala stands first in terms of investigating and pulling down the CSAM material or child pornographic as we conventionally knew it. Now I had the privilege to interact directly with the DGP Manoj Abraham sir, who has been very active in terms of pulling down the content of the CSAM material, and in fact I have taken few of his help. And can you see these points? These are all the locations where, when he showed it on the screen, it was all the locations where child porn was being viewed in India. Right? And if you can observe, CSAM files were up to 27 plus crores that were viewed, and this is just in India. So this is what I said, I can prove it. The numbers I showed in statistics, I could prove it because this was the police himself who had put it in one of the very, very closed conference that I got to attend in the National Police Academy. And this is mind-boggling. And trust me, when the police start investigating in terms of IP addresses, people are smart, they use VPN, and police in India are also struggling in terms of forensics. And why is that? Because they're not completely trained when it comes to forensics, right? So we have to somewhere rely on the public-private partnership where they seek help in terms of forensic. So as I gave the disclaimer, I'm not going into technical aspects. Dr. Kumar sir may cover it. I come from a legal background, and understanding technology is also a small glitch that I have personally. So please excuse me for that. So these are the few tools that are used in terms of collecting evidences. All of these that I have been speaking, if you observe, is something that I'm talking where evidence or forensic tools are there before the crime is committed. And why is this important? It is important because this is how you can track, trace people, and then hold them liable. If anybody has made an attempt to read the S. Harish case that first went to Madras High Court, and the Madras High Court judgment was reversed by the Supreme Court judgment, where we have the new terminology that the court gave. How did that case come up? Even in Karnataka, in fact, there was a case that had gone up to the High Court where a 54-year-old man was viewing child porn. It alerted the cyber tip line. And because of the alert, they could know that he was viewing child porn for about 54 minutes. And then he was arrested for it. So today, what is the stand that we have, right? What is the stand? Viewing child porn or downloading or having it in your device is a crime. And it is taken and acted very, very seriously in India right now. So tools that is used globally, of course, sir also mentioned about the virtual 10-year-old girl called Sweetie. Through this, they interact and get to know where all the child CISA materials are being circulated. You have web crawlers, which is a data mining tool, and it identifies online CISA materials. And you have another cool tool called Traffic Jam, which identifies patterns in online content and identifies victim through facial recognition. So as I was mentioning, I'm talking about again from the personal experience when the Abraham sir was speaking. So it is so tough when you view child porn, right? The police, in fact, it's such an ardent task for them to trace the actual location and then rescue the victim. Because most times, let me tell you, one of the cases that he spoke, it was his own father's younger brother who was abusing the child. And when the police went, and the child is happily with this man, not knowing that what she was undergoing is a child sexual abuse. The child did not know that. She was okay with it because she wasn't aware that whatever her uncle is doing is wrong. And how could they come across with all of this? Because there was one Malayalam Manorama calendar that was seen behind, and he had put a selfie with the same background on Instagram. So this way they could connect, go to the location, and then when the child's parents were told about it, that it is your own brother who's doing it, the parents are not ready to believe that it is their own sibling who is sexually harassing their child. So this is another issue that we have. Investigation procedures, I'm going to skip, it's going to take some time if I start talking. Now, how can you help? CISA materials are there everywhere. Now, if you go to most chat rooms, there are chat rooms, the gaming chat rooms has more number of pedophiles. The gaming, especially the Roblox, which is mostly used by even kids as young as 4 and 5. Chat rooms there have most number of pedophiles. And what can you all do? What can you do is, number one, be trained yourself to become cybercrime intervention officers. Here, in fact, you will be trained in terms of gaming addiction, tech abuse, and how you can help. See, the cyber tip line also works if you report it. If you come across any sexual abusive material of kids, and if you end up viewing it and enjoying it, that is not helping. Instead of that, reporting such content that you come across becomes essential. And again, sir was also talking about this, that parents and teachers are not aware about how to handle kids in terms of all of these content that the kids get exposed to or become victim of. So this is where there is also a need for parents and teachers to in fact get to know how these cyber crimes, not just CSAM, there are so many other crimes that are leveled against kids. So of course I was talking about CCIO. This is where you are trained to become trained in terms of how the cybercrime landscape works. So this is, so ISAC, the company where I come from, we have a public-private partnership with the Karnataka government, and it is the DGP Sir Mohanty himself who had made a very public statement in one of the recent conferences where both our company and Sir was there. So why is that I'm mentioning not promoting my company, but police in fact need the support of you and I and companies to ensure that they can do a proper investigation, or even in terms of threat intelligence, right? So this is where you can be active in terms of reporting the cases that you come across. So I will end here. Thank you for your patient listening. Again, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very insightful session. I request our principal, ma'am, Dr. Rajshri Ray, to kindly present a token of appreciation to our respected speaker. School of Computer Science and Engineering, RV University, Bangalore. Mr. Manish Kumar holds a PhD in Computer Science from Bangalore University. Before joining RV University, he had worked for 16 years at MS Ramaya Institute of Technology in the Computer Applications Department. His areas of specialization include information security and digital forensics. He is also a subject matter expert, cybersecurity. He has published many research papers in reputed conferences and journals. In addition to his academic role, he is actively involved in research and consultancy. He regularly conducts hands-on workshops, technical talks, training for engineering institutions, researchers, faculty members, law enforcement agencies, and the judiciary. He serves as a technical expert on various committees formed by the Karnataka state government to establish cyber forensics lab for law enforcement agencies. He is a life member of the Computer Society of India, CSI, the Indian Society for Technical Education, ISTE, and the Indian Science Congress Association, ISCA. He is also a member of the International Association of Engineers, IAE, and a senior member of the ACM. I would request our Vice Principal, Sir, to kindly welcome our guest by presenting a sapling.
Yes, sir. Once again.
Thank you, sir. I now request you to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, all of you. I am in between your lunch and you, so I will try to increase your hungerness more with some of the case study. Okay, so my area of specialization is forensic and cyber security. When I talk about the forensic, I will be a bit nervous because just now the member said it's very difficult to catch, very difficult to investigate. And if you ask me, whatever I present here, I can talk for the whole day that how you can escape, but I will have very less time to say how to catch, because that's the problem. Technology is very advanced, and unfortunately the technology is so complex that it's very difficult for law enforcement agency to really catch the people, and that too on time. It's very difficult. So we have a lot of issues. We have shortage of time. Definitely won't be able to take everything, but let us see how much. Okay, so let us start with the case. I will go with the case because I feel that the best thing to teach in class is give some story, relate with the story. Then maybe some of the story is more than any Netflix web series. Okay, so I will come up with the first case. I have 10 cases, but I will start with something which is. How many of you have heard about acoustic fingerprinting? How many have heard about acoustic fingerprinting? Okay, fine. Let me tell you the case. The case is in 2020, a disturbing video which law enforcement agency found on some platform, and it lacked identifying visuals but contained subtle audio clues through advanced acoustic fingerprinting. So there is nothing. So we cannot stand there and talk. That's the way we. So thank you. So acoustic fingerprinting, I'll give an example, but let me first give you the example. And I'm not in hurry because a good song for 2 minutes is sufficient. Okay. So half an hour or 15 minutes will be sufficient for me to give you the glimpse of the technology or what we are doing. So we got only, the scenario is that there is only one video, and the video has some background noise, there's nothing else. And the investigative agency has to identify that from where this video has been uploaded and who are the main conspirators. Now you work with me and tell me what way you will investigate, what could be the way to go forward and investigate. Think. There's only one video, certain background noise. How to do that? There's no clue, blind case. Think, give some clue. Any idea? Okay. So we have the software which can extract individual voice frequency from the background, and you can improvise it. So what these people did, they took the video and then they concentrated only on the one that is background noise. And when they intensified that, they improvised it, they could extract a train siren, okay, and the bell of a church. That was the only two clues, nothing else. Then what happened? There was some jerk sound. That click sound was of an old refrigerator which generally found in UK, nowhere else. That model is not available. So these guys have so much of database that they could match that voice, that okay, this voice of jerk sound is from this kind of refrigerator and it is found in this location. And then they could collect that background noise of the train whistle. And then third was church bell. Now having these three, how will you search in the entire country that from which location it has been uploaded? It is still challenging, right? So the next step is that they have the sample of all the trains, and because voice fingerprinting means even if my speaker generate the audio, it won't be same from your, suppose we have two same Apple iPhone, but there will be slight difference in the, because of the physical characteristics of the device, okay? So some changes will be there. So they could find out that, okay, this whistle is exactly from this train and this train moved through this path, and then they could zero in, okay, this train, and then finding out that in which area there is church with the same, that kind of bell, and what time that bell sound comes, okay? So with the blind case, extracting the audio, then zeroed into the one location, and they could crack the case and they could find the location where actually that video was uploaded. So you just imagine how advanced technology is moving to crack the case. And these are advanced forensics. So normal forensic tools, what we just madam spoke, those are the standard approach. But when the case are critical, these tools do not work at all, because you don't have the way to collect the evidence and then investigate, and there is no time to do that. So a very different kind of, you say that, creative way to solving the cases, okay? But in this, what are the tools we used? So you have Audacity, an acoustic fingerprint database, and environment modeling. So after finding out the voice samples, they could map that, which location this voice could be, and then they could zero in there and they could investigate. So this was the software which was used. So three things was there: train, radiator sounds, and bells. With these three sounds, they could zero in. They could find the location and they could arrest him. There is another case. All these cases are related to CSA. That means child sexual abuse materials have been uploaded also. So in one of the platform, they found one image. There is nothing in that image, no clues. The only one clue was when they enlarged the image I will just show you. This is not the case. I have another case. Pixel trail. It's a classic case. You can search on it in Google. So what they did actually, they got the image, they enlarged the image, and they could only find the reflection in eyes. And that reflection was some buildings and apartments. Apart from that, there is nothing, no clue at all. How to crack the case? Anyone can tell me how they would have proceeded? What they did in this case, they enhance it, and my PPT visualize it. So this is almost similar things was there, where you could extract some buildings, apartments, and then with the AI enhance it, and then they try to match which area in this city has this kind of buildings. Okay. And with what software? Google Earth, professional version. And see, within 48 hours, they could get that house. Within 48 hours. So that's the level of technology to crack the case. But all this is thankful to artificial intelligence and the tools we have today. Okay. So these are all classic cases, as you can see that how 3D modeling and the geospatial analysis to rescue the child victim was used. Within 48 hours, they could identify and they could reach to the location from where this material was uploaded. And it was anonymous upload. Initial analysis was only that high resolution image, enhancing the retina image, and then extracting the building's details and making 3D model, then mapping it with the Google Earth with professional version, because that can give you much better resolutions, and then with that you suspected that locations, and then still you cannot simply go and do the raid or do any kind of arrest. So generally what they do that, because for us it looks very simple that okay, in India police can go and cash hold somebody, but it's all a foreign case. So normally they need a kind of some kind of evidence to show that yes, they have some suspect. So normally what they did, they do that once you identified the location, then the IP address will go under filtrations if they found that such materials are getting uploaded, because that also not easy to identify. I will come to the next case that it's not easy to identify. So when they found that there are such kind of activities going on, then they can put in court and then they can get the order to go further. Okay. Now, how many have done recent project on child sexual abuse or CSM related any topic? Any students? And you might have used internet. Okay, so how many times you searched? So next time when you search, be careful. Whenever I go to talk on this topic, my first thinking will be that how many times I can search. For all of you to know that, there are some internet watchdog. So when your computer generates those keywords and search, there are certain attempts. After that, your IP will be flagged. That these computers from these locations are continuously searching or uploading or using these contents. Then automatically will come on the monitor. So whenever, see what happened, we have the international watchdog, and India also is a part of certain committee, and they take care of all this investigation. So normally how they do that? So I am trying to explain you how do they do. So they don't go house to house, right? So how do they identify? So they identify with these algorithms. So when your system generated traffic and you have certain keywords or some letters or words which get in the under filtrations in the backbone. So they identify this IP address is generating this traffic on continuously searching CSAM or child pornography or something like that. So when it reached beyond certain threshold values, then that IP address will be filtered, and then continuous monitoring will start for those IP addresses. That is how the system works. And there are international experts who monitor this entire network traffic, and they share these details with the local police maybe CBI or CID, that we found that these are the IP address generating this traffic. This is a general way. But now, how do they escape? So if I am if I am searching something on net and I want to escape, and if I know that my traffic will be filtered or I will be caught, so definitely some technology will be there. So I will talk about 2 minutes for one technology. How many you have heard about Tor browser or VPN? You might have heard. What was the Tor browser's objective? Can you tell me what was Tor browser was developed for? Anonymous. What anonymous? Why it was developed? Anybody?
Not to leave any traces.
I will tell you how the Tor browser came into existence. A great US. So, US has a spy around the world. It may be some media reporter or maybe he's on a spy. And we say whistleblower. So when whistleblower informs something to that country, and obviously your country also is monitoring traffic. So what they do, they develop the technology. The technology should protect their whistleblower. So from around the world, anywhere if their whistleblowers are communicating, you cannot intercept the traffic. You can intercept the traffic, but you cannot interpret it. That was the motive behind that tool. That was developed by the US Air Force or Navy, if I'm right. Tor browser was developed for that intention, that give anonymity to the whistleblower. Same tool went to the wrong hand. To whom? Terrorists. So what was your objective? To give anonymity, right? Okay, you are giving anonymity. Now he is doing anonymously all these things. Now you can't break it. Any one will sustain. Either you protect your whistleblower or you catch them. Both is not possible. So this is not possible that you can catch them so easily if they are using Tor browsers. Okay. So why Tor browser came, that I told you. Why VPN came is again similar kind of story. Fine. So these people who know that I am monitored somewhere, they use all this technology like Tor or VPN, and that traffic is totally encrypted. Encrypted traffic, even if you intercept, you will not interpret. You can't understand what word he is communicating. So understanding that and catching is very difficult. So that's the biggest challenge we have. So in simple case, we can say that okay, we are monitoring, we can catch all. But the organized criminals, expert criminals, you cannot. And the problem for the society is not that small crimes, organized crimes. So when it is, and most of these crimes is actually for monetary, okay? It's all commercialized. And if you want to control them, then they have such a kind of tool that's very difficult to intercept or to monitor or to interpret, okay? Then what is the way to go ahead? How do we investigate? So to investigate these cases, so they have their separate world. We say deep web, a separate internet, okay? General people will not browse on it. So police will put their own people in that, okay? So police also will create some account inside, and they will be seeing who is communicating what, and they try to collect the data, they try to communicate with them, and then make their own intelligence, okay, what are going on, and then make some good report on that, and then do some next level investigation, okay. So that's what all about Tor browser. I'll just take one more case and then this was again a different kind of case. So the officers got a lot of images of CSM kind of image, and they started investigating. Most of the time what happened, these materials, when they try to investigate, in many cases it has happened that those images of the childs, and if you try to trace, those childs may be somewhere in a missing. So somewhere missing complaint might have been put for those childs. So many missing case of childs and child pornography and CSM, these all are interlinked.
So when they got these images, what they did, they tried to match, is there any missing information about this child? But the problem was that those child report might have been reported 10 years back or 5 years back, and today their facial patterns are same. So again, how to crack the case? So they took the images, then they took the missing images of the child, improvised those images with the aging software, and then map it, that is it mapping similar to this? And then they found that there are few cases where they could crack that these are all those child for whom missing cases have been registered, and then they could recover those child from this. So what I mean to say, if you look in and around, whatever the technology I am talking about, these technologies are not only to solve child pornography or CSME kind of case. Forensic is everywhere. Today, if you go and ask any police inspector without touching mobile and laptop, he cannot solve 90% of cases. And from morning we are talking about computer, internet, mobile. More than our family member, if anybody know about us, who is that? Google. So we say Google God. We all are present here, Google no. What you are liking, what is your dislike, what you talk, what you search, everything is there on internet. Artificial intelligence is not a new technology. We are teaching it since 1970. It's not new. But artificial intelligence become buzzword now. Why? We were not generating that much data 20 years back. Today we generate everything about us, and the computer knows us very well. And that's the things controlling us. So from morning I heard computer is controlling us. Yes, true. It's true. Computer is controlling us. Computer will control if we don't control computers. And it will come to the age. So I was just thinking that, see, our mother, they used to do fasting. Today I have to tell my student, do e-fasting. Don't touch your laptop and mobile for one day. I will give you 2 marks extra. It's not possible. Some of them can't eat also. It's that kind of behavior now. So, in Sanskrit there is a sloka, Ati Sarvat Varjite. Too much of anything is always harmful. So when you have gone to the level where the things you develop and that system is started controlling you, you have to think that where you have to put pause. How much is too much is an individual perception. That's the point. But we know that too much is harmful. Now coming back to my topic, I can take some time else and give you the glimpse of all the tools, that how these tools works. I can explain you that how steganography works, how embedded malware works, how these child pornographies or CSMA materials are distributed and it get uncaught. It's very difficult to trace. It's complex technology. I have to take hours together to explain you one things. But what I want to emphasize that we have the technology to trace. But when you say that how effective, I can't say it, because the opponents are more stronger than me. Okay? And the last word I will say, we are in the world. I use this word which is called as AI paradox. The AI paradox is something I hope all of you will understand, and particularly from the judiciary and forensic science people. Today, if I produce one image in the court that this is a morph image, what will be the proof for that it is morph or not morph? You have to get it forensically tested, right? So we have a forensic software which tests whether the image is morph or not. Okay? So we use forensic technology. All these forensic technology is AI based, which will test whether your audio, video, image is morph or fabricated or not. Right? Other side, you have the same AI technology to produce this morph and fabricated evidence. So the question is, the fight is between AI versus AI. One AI technology to produce this, another AI technology to identify. Who will win? I don't know who will win, but loser will be society. You are in the whirlpool. It's not going to end. And you will see that after 5 years or maybe sooner, court will say that I don't believe in your digital evidence. It will come to that level. With that, I thanks for your patience listening, and I thank madam for inviting me. We are associated long, but we had a less interaction. I'm free to take any questions, maybe, but outside, because I know many people, it's already get delayed. Thank you all.